Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chris Conley, Mr. C Dives In for the second time on this channel. I welcome my partner in broadcasting, Fanboy G. Where did we just come from? What did we just do today?
We went on a field trip. We went on a literal field trip to the Museum of Science and Industry.
On the Fanboy Cantina channel, I believe this kind of a trip would get billed as a virtual field trip.
Yes.
So here we are. All kinds of relevancy here, but where we were was at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and there were a couple current exhibits we wanted to check out. So we'll speak on those. So there's a lot of material here. So between this channel and between the Fanboy Cantina channel, there will be some MSI content coming up in the coming days and coming weeks, depending on when we get our act together and put the things together. The exhibits we saw today included the Lego exhibit, really interesting. More on that soon. A classic from our youth from the mid 70s. I'm casually referring to it as the old timey village. The proper name of the exhibit is maybe Yesterday's Main Street, or maybe we can always correct ourselves in the comments. Wouldn't be the first time we had some things to clean up on or some things to address. But for our purposes today, we'll go to our actual new product first.
Mold-A-Rama. This is the U-boat from the Museum of Science and Industry. The U-boat is a major exhibit thing, and this is the Mold-A-Rama thing. So you get to, put in your $5 now. $5.
Didn't used to be that much, but that's what it is now.
so this is $5. But yeah, I mean, this was like a highlight of going to the museum.
So we just made one new addition each, the U-boat, and my selection was build on one side as space robot, build on the other side if it's legible there. What does it say even? Yeah, MSI Chicago. So here's right the U-boat, and the robot. And let's go through some other picks and highlights, and then go through some of the actual Mold-A-Rama collection that we have here. So for starters, logo-wise, you cannot. The logo for Galloping Ghost is a really good logo. So many good logos, but Mold-A-Rama has to be one of the top all-time unbeatable logos. The shape, the colors, the sequencing of the colors, and from that late 50s, early 60s period. For those of us who are knowledgeable about Darwin Cook and the comics, there's a certain just vibe and certain aesthetic to that era, perfectly captured in the Mold-A-Rama logo. But we were not at the museum only to see logo. No. We went beyond seeing logo, and there was more stuff to see. So the Mold-A-Rama machines, again, it's an impressive piece of technology. Now, clearly, since the late 50s and early 60s, many other technological advancements have come and gone. This is maybe a little bit passive or a little bit dated by comparison, but G, your thoughts on the exhibit today and from the operation of the actual Mold-A-Rama machines?
Well, the thing hasn't changed in decades, right? It's the same contraption that they've had for decades. Before we were going on this field trip thing, I was anxious about, do I need to have a stack of ones in my wallet? And I don't know about you, but it's hard to get like change. So, and most of my cash comes from going to Target. So everything comes out in tens for whatever reason. It's all tens. So I have a bunch of tens now that I didn't use. I was glad that it took a credit card. That was a major advancement. And that $5 it probably ought to
retrofitted with new technology, retrofitted and new for credit card capability. So it was interesting for me to see the, if you will, the disaggregation, the deconstruction, to see the components rendered in a component form instead of the entirety of the parts. So we can see here a space shuttle circa the mid 1980s and the mechanical mold. So for those of us who are unfamiliar with Mold-A-Rama, after you put in your cash or your credit card, they inject, the tubes inject plastic into this mold shape, and within just a couple of minutes, you have whichever of the shapes it is. It was really cool for me to take a look at the metal casings of the form to just see how the details that are engraved there translate into the details onto the different items, the different Mold-A-Rama plastics.
I think I actually had the. Now that I think about it, I think I had the space shuttle one. The fin or the tail section broke off. It was pretty terrible. And
It is
yeah,
plastic.
yeah, I mean, it's very brittle plastic. It's not meant for durable play, but it was a lot of fun. If I remember having that thing, it was a lot of fun to have. Back in the day.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to some other highlight
Huh?
picks we have here. Okay, so there's my disembodied hand, the same hand that's here with the robot fresh out of the box, fresh out of the machine. So as you can see, the one I'm holding is gray or silver. The one on display is green. So that's another fun way you get more varieties of the items, is by which color plastic or which color liquid gets formed into your plastic mold. Other highlights out of the display case?
Well, I think mine is the next and our last shot here. So it's a massive display case that they've got, and I didn't realize. And I guess we're going to get to it very soon. I didn't realize how many of these things exist. That's the one I got, the U505.
Right. So, and as we're looking at in the upper corner there in the light blue, Space Needle, is that General and President Eisenhower there? I mean, that's my best guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Off to the other side, the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile. And then, as you can see, and as we have future broadcasts and future episodes, we'll reveal more of the full collection, what was available there.
Yep.
Pretty cool stuff to check out. Again, as far as physical pieces of Mold-A-Rama that we've had around the house for a while. Now, of course, you just said in your youth, you picked up a few different pieces. Yeah. I held off. In the relatively recent past. We're at Milwaukee Zoo with the family, and there's the bat exhibit. Now, the bat exhibit can be a whole different separate story, but in our household, there's inside jokes about bat exhibits. So as I'm looking at in Milwaukee, this was the first ever of the physical Mold-A-Ramas that I picked up was the bat. Again, one of the centerpieces within my mini Mold-A-Rama gatherings of different things. There's a lot of different ones that we could show, but just as a noteworthy item here, when they change out the color, I believe this guy here, the lighter color green, was a transition piece between the green and the white plastics or liquid plastics being injected. So again, just kind of cool. You get kind of like an alternate variant. There's a whole bunch. Again, the variety of things covered by Mold-A-Rama is pretty wide. G, do you want to just grab anybody and highlight?
I'm curious, like, so I'm not seeing a destination. I'm not seeing a destination on this one. Where did this come from?
So the destinations are sometimes
easier right to see than
other.
Okay.
This was a Brookfield Zoo guy. I don't know if that's going to come through on
It's
camera at all.
Yeah.
But he was Brookfield Zoo, and he's also, so these guys were out of the same exact machine, a few months apart, both out of Brookfield Zoo, which goes to Brookfield Zoo has them, Milwaukee Zoo has them, Lincoln Park Zoo has them, Museums of Science and Industry, Field Museum. There's a lot of places that have mold. As we saw as part of the exhibit, maybe we thought it was more of a Midwest.
That's what I thought.
Exclusive, but the machines are in, even though they're kind of local to Chicago as a company, they do hit other spots outside the Midwest also.
Very cool. And I didn't realize there were holiday themed ones either. I don't think I've ever seen such a thing. And so this one that you have in the collection, this one was actually one of the Mold-A-Ramas that you could get right at the exhibit. And this is a angel ornament, I guess, huh?
And never did it occur to me, but how they have it displayed there. So they just put a string or a decorative string in here as a loop to make it an actual ornament that could go on a tree.
Yeah.
Well, again, I've exposed my ignorance for various subjects over our various channels over time. but yeah, it's looking at it now, it's kind of a no-brainer.
This angel looks very angry. That looks like a problem. That pay attention to me. Pay attention. That I mean, like it's like showing the book. Do you see me? Do you see me singing? Anyways, so I didn't realize that there was a holiday theme thing, and this one is actually from on the back Brookfield Zoo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And just some other select pieces, right? We got skulls, we got hippopotamuses, we got a lot of this is Brookfield Zoo. We got this guy here, maybe he's a bison. You know, from the farm and the zoo side of the Lincoln Park Zoo, I'm pretty sure that's where the cow came from. I know for a fact this pig came from Lincoln Park Zoo. Unlike the angel, he's pretty happy looking. He or she is pretty happy looking. They're not always to scale because right. So right, both orange. Yeah. But like to scale, a toucan or this kind of a bird is smaller than a pig. Here's a little Chicago skyline for you. So given that we're
that's a good one.
It's another good one.
Where did you find that one?
Geez, man. Giving me like a Jim Campbell question there. I'm trying to read the science and industry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Score. All right. So again, there were plenty of exhibits we saw today. Plenty of good stuff going on at Museum of Science and Industry. Mm-hmm. Plenty of good stuff going on at other museums, Mold-A-Rama related.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see that exhibit. What Fuego? What Field Museum?
Fuego Field
Museum. Field Museum Chicago.
The museum with the actual dinosaurs.
Yes. So you could see, well, Sue potentially, or before Sue, the other dinosaur exhibits. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It was just one room. I mean, how much are you going to actually do about Mold-A-Rama? So it was just that one room. But seeing the cabinet, which I apparently didn't upload a proper picture of, which you will see on his channel in a different video. Yeah, the exhibit, the showcase showing all of the different Mold-A-Ramas, that was the highlight. That was cool.
Definitely, it's the museum within the museum, the display amongst the displays, the crown jewel of the many pieces. Yeah. Definitely a good way to go about seeing it. All right. Any closing thoughts or any further exhibit?
No, I'm just gonna keep on looking at your stuff here.
All right.
Well, this is from the Milwaukee Zoo.
Right.
This penguin, and
we got some see no evil, hear no evil monkeys. We got we got a devil.
Oh boy.
We got a ghost.
Are these recent acquisitions?
Within the last 5 or 6 years. I would have to trace back to that Milwaukee trip. Was probably 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah, here's a bunch of different guys and a bunch of different themes.
My goodness.
Pretty good, pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, no, nice memories. Nice memories. If you grew up with this stuff, it's really nice memories. If you didn't, it's probably, what the heck is this?
Piece of plastic.
Why am I spending $5 on this? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Good field trip.
All right, so please, in the future, as the coming days come and go, stay tuned to this right here, the Chris Conley Mr. C channel. Give a look over to the Fanboy Cantina channel. Our other colleagues with the other stations, J-Spy 25, a casual crafter, MIB master, and the list could go on and on. But thanks for checking us out. Look forward to catching people again in the near future. So long, everybody.